Happy Friday.
Oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said ooh, shut up and dance with me. We were victims of the night.
Hello, and welcome to episode 33 of KnitScents. My name is Jan, and you can find me as Jan LNRN on Ravelry, on Instagram. I think that's really about it. I did open a Snapchat account. I'm not sure. I have to check. I'm not sure if I'm Jan LNRN over there or Mom Has Three. I've yet to Snapchat, but it seemed like a fun idea, so I'm on there. I'll link in the down bar below what my Snapchat name or handle is, whatever you call it these days. I don't know. Y'all remember back in the day? Probably don't. In the CB radios when you had a handle. I feel that's like how it is now, only with the internet. Only I am very sure they don't call it a handle. I'm sure there's some fancy digital name for whatever your screen name or whatever it is, but my age is showing. It actually, I have to say, it started off today where a friend of mine on her Facebook posted a little blip of an ad from an old Prell shampoo commercial. Now, for those of you who don't remember or aren't old enough to remember, Prell was this green shampoo. I believe it was put out by Procter and Gamble. Don't quote me on that one. But all I can say, and this is again, full disclaimer, this is my own personal opinion on Prell. It was the worst shampoo I think I ever put on my head. But neither here nor there. She put on there, do you remember this commercial? And it was just a little snippet of it. And I'm like, not only do I remember the commercial, I remember they used to drop a pearl into the shampoo to show you how thick the shampoo is and how slowly the pearl would go to the bottom. And in my ignorance at the time, and I mean, all right, this was a while ago, so it's not like I was, an adult asking this question. But my question always was, why would they put a good pearl in a bottle of shampoo? Someone's got to dig that pearl out. But, again, this isn't a shampoo video or any kind of beauty blog or whatever. It is a knitting show. So I digress. But it just reminded me when I thought of, I don't even know what your screen names are called. To me, they were, back in the day of the CB radio, it was a handle. I don't know what you call it now. It's Jan LNRN. Look for me. I'm on there somewhere. And if I'm not on Snapchat as that, it's Mom Has Three. So here we are. It is Friday the 13th. I didn't even have to look at my watch. I knew that one, which, it just tells me I probably should have put off recording until tomorrow because let's just suffice it to say that my podcasts generally on a good day don't go very smoothly. And I think I'm really tempting fate here. Attempting to get this done on Friday the 13th. I'm just going to move this back a little bit. There we go. But we're going to go for it because it's actually empty in the house and it's really quiet. There's nobody making noise. Now, one of two things is going to happen. We're going to blast through this and we're going to get through it real quick. Or one by one, they're going to start coming home or the phone's going to start ringing and this is going to be another one of those elongated episodes that's going to take forever to edit. So I'm going to stop blabbing now and just cut to the chase and let's get into this. It's been this week got off to, and I don't use the term loosely, a bang this week with a totaled car on Sunday. And I have to say the week went down the hill after that. So needless to say, I did make progress. I somehow, in between waiting here and waiting there and being on the phone and on hold for who knows how long, I did make some progress, but not as much as I had hoped. So we do have some knitting works in progress. Um, Spinning, I don't know. I don't know if I just need to try a different approach to get my spinning mojo back. Um, I'm not really sure. I am hoping that my upcoming trip to Rhinebeck will maybe spur me into seeing some more hand spun. But I really do need a good swift kick in the pants to get back to my wheels, because once I start, I don't stop. But then when I don't have like a week goes by where I don't have dedicated time to literally sit still at the wheel. I mean, knitting, at least it's portable. My wheel is not so portable. And I know I could do a drop spindle, but I tried it once in a doctor's office. And let's just suffice it to say, these patients were in enough pain without my flinging this thing all over the office and banging it into people. So I never did that again. I kind of thought that was pushing it over the top, that it wasn't that important. So I have no spinning objects, no finished objects. I have very little in the way of stash enhancement, thank goodness. And I do have some upcoming events to talk about. Again, we know I did not make Loopy Fling last weekend, which was sad, but as it turned out, had I been in Colorado and gotten that phone call, I think that would have been even worse. So all in all, I think it all worked out for the best. So we're going to dive in. I also, last week, I did a segment on daily planners, and this all started when and I did review it, or I did go over it a couple of episodes ago. I showed it again in my last episode. Martina Beam, the knitwear designer, came out with a knitting planner, and I will link below the website, her website, where you can purchase it. And it brought me back, when I got it, to the days when I lived with my daily planner in my hands. I mean, it was either in my bag or it was near my person. And anything and everything I needed to write down was all in one place. Phone numbers and notes, and, if somebody asked me something and I had to look it up, it was all right there. To me, it's a lot easier after not having used one for a couple of years than trying to type all this stuff quickly while someone's just spitting out information into my phone and try to get it into the right spot, and then I can't find where I put it. So the upshot is I did go back to using my daily planner, and I'm going to use Martina's knitting planner strictly for knitting. So last week I did a little segment on how I set up my daily planner, and finds that I'm finding to make it more fun, to decorate it. So I did get some goodies, some enhancements, some stickers and things like that that I've been finding along the way on Etsy, in different stores. So if this is something that you're interested in or would like me to keep up with in the podcast, let me know in the comments section below. And again, for those of you not familiar with the YouTube platform, because I am going to stay on YouTube, I don't know, I just think this is the easiest for me. It works really well, and let's be honest about it, I don't know how to get it anywhere else, okay? But this is working for me. So there are some things that you can do that really make this format really user-friendly from a viewer's point of view. First of all, there's the subscribe button, and I'm not sure if it's here, and I'm not sure if it's here, but there is a button where you can subscribe to this channel, which is KnitScents. And then if you hit that subscribe button, you'll be notified by email every time a new episode goes up. So that's one advantage. The other advantage is if you look in where it says more info or see more, or something to that effect, if you click that, a menu will drop down, and that's where I put all of the links to projects I'm working on, links to sites that I mentioned. All of that information comes down in that drop down bar. But again, all of that info is also on my blog, KnitScents.com, so you can find that over there. And the other advantage is the comment section, that's also down below. I will see your comments and I will respond to your comments. So if this is something that you're interested in going back to a daily planner or learning how to set one up or how to decorate it or where to just find really cool things to stick in your planner or really cool stickers to stick wherever you'd like, on your knitting, on your patterns, on your paper patterns, that's great. Just let me know in the comment section below and I'll keep it going. Otherwise, we'll just leave that section out. So that's, I think that's it. So let's dive in to what I'm knitting on. I did start, it's not looking great for my October socks because it is already the 13th and I made precious little progress, but I did cast them on. So I guess that, oh boy, I'm looking at this sock going precious little progress. That's just beyond an understatement. These are my Desert Vista Dye Works 3rd annual sock knit along. Let's show you the yarn I'm using first because there's a whole lot more of that than there is of sock. This is Bing Crosby and the Andrews sisters. That's it. I was going to go Bing Andrews. Oh, okay. It's Bing Crosby and the Andrews sisters. Love the colorway. And now I do have to say, and you'll see in Stash Enhancement, I did get a skein of her pumpkin spice, I think it's called. I'll show you at the end. But unfortunately, when I needed to get it wound to take a sock to start, it was 2 skeins to wind up, and I had like about 32 seconds to wind up a skein of yarn. So I chose this one because with the orange and the black and the yellow, it was Halloweeny and fall enough to me. So that's the color I'm using. So this is Bing and the Andrews sisters, I believe is the name of the colorway. It is on her sparkle base. Let's see if we can see some of those sparkles there, which I love. I love her sparkle base. Then again, I love everything Susan does. I love all her bases. And now for the exciting progress I made. Here is my, yes, first sock. That's it. That's all she wrote. I cast on and I think I just hit the 1-inch mark on the ribbing, so now it's just plain stockinette. That's it. I haven't even gotten through all of the striping colors. I didn't get to the black or the pink. So needless to say, I am woefully behind, but here's what I decided, because I really felt pressured with the last sock because there were other things that I wanted to get done faster. And I found that I was really having to devote time to the sock. So I may say 9 consecutive months of socks for me was more than I thought I was going to get through. And I'm not going to pressure myself with this. It really is going to depend on how much I need to be knitting socks as opposed to taking my other projects with me, as to whether or not I get these socks done on time, as to whether or not I'm really going to just push everything else aside and knit on the sock. So no pressure, and I'm enjoying it. I love having a sock on the needles. I love the yarn. I'm probably going to do a Fish Lips Kiss Heel. I'm thinking about actually ripping out the 1 or 2 stockinette rows I did. I didn't do that many. And trying a No Purl Monkey sock pattern and see if maybe that will get me more interested in doing it. I don't know. That's where we're at with my sad sock story. Okay, moving along. This week, I got smart. And all I have in here is plain water in a cup with a lid. Yes, because even soda bottles will spill if you don't put the lid on. Ask me how I know. Moving along. This project actually did get a lot more love. It's chair noise. I need new chair pads, I think. And they just opened an Ace Hardware store literally down the block and across the street. I walk over that way all the time. Post office is over there, whatever. I don't know why I can't just remember when I'm in that store, which is practically every other day buying light bulbs or some other stupid thing, get the chair pads. But I digress. Maybe somebody can put it in the comments section below, and that'll really make me go and get those chair pads. Hey, listen, we're sick of the chair noise. Could you do something? Okay. Anyway, this is my Millie sweater that I started last week. It is actually by Nice and Knit. That's what they say is the designer name is Nice and Knit, but it's actually designed by one of the two sisters who is part of the Nice and Knit dye company. They dye their own yarn, and one of the sisters designs patterns. And this is the sweater. Now, my other issue, I'm really trying here to make this a little bit more, I don't want to say professional, because this is not going to be one of those professional podcasts where it's going to come off. But it must be driving y'all crazy, because it's driving me crazy seeing those lights reflecting in my glasses. And I don't know how to aim them so that doesn't happen, other than like to try to look down, and that's kind of inconvenient and strange. So I'm working on it. If it's driving you as crazy as it's driving me, I apologize. I am trying to figure something out, maybe moving them more to the side. Or maybe we'll try that in a minute. But anyway, back to Millie. You can see my mind is already all over the place today. And it's also wrecking havoc, the lights, with showing anything. But it's a nice boxy sweater that somehow still looks fitted. You can see like the back there, that it's loose where you don't want it tight, if you know what I'm saying. And you can make it pretty much as long as you want. You can add length to it. I'm probably going to leave it at that hip length, because when they give the hip length on a normal size person, it's going to come a lot longer on me, because I am so short-waisted that there is no room. I mean, you know, if I do something that's supposed to hit somebody at the high hip, it probably likely, if I keep those measurements, is going to hang below my butt. That's just the long and the short of it, pun intended. And it's got fitted 3/4 sleeves. So that's what I have been working on. I am knitting it out of Nice and Knit yarn, which I found one of my local yarn stores carries. It is called Knit, and it is located in Roslyn, New York. And this is the Nice and Knit fingering, and the colorway I am using is Eastham, which is a nice peachy salmon with, I don't know if it's pink. Again, let's try an experiment. Let's experiment. Why not? Let's see if we just move these lights to the side, if I'm going to be sitting in the dark. Ooh, ooh, is that better? No, I still see it right in my face, and I'm, all right, it's time to give up. I think I've like shot myself into the camera one too many times. Okay, yeah, all right, here we go. Let's see if that helps. There we go. Eastham is the colorway, and it is got this beige. It looks beige on camera, and I guess you could say it is maybe sort of a soft beige, but it's more of a soft peach color, which goes into these pops. There are little pops of like, I want to say almost a magenta color, but it's essentially orange tones. And then there, where did I just see it? There are some pops of a darker brown in it. And this is the progress I've made. This is knit top down with raglan sleeves. And I think last week, and I'm petrified to pop this off, this stitch holder thing. This is the cutest thing. I love this. Look at that. It's a little Miss Stroika doll. And it just sort of holds your needles on there. Very cool. Here's where I'm at. I am still decreasing for the sleeves. or I'm sorry, increasing for the sleeves. Geez, like I said, this was probably a bad choice on Friday the 13th for me to even think about doing this, but here you can see is one sleeve. Let's see if we can get it to show in there. There we go. Here are the increases over there and over there. So this will end up being a sleeve. Okay, and then the front and the back. And I did notice the stitch count is different. There are a few fewer stitches in the back, obviously, than the front, because there is no shaping. There are no bust increases or waist decreases. It's pretty much straight down. However, there are more stitches on the front of the needle, so that it accommodates the girls. So there we go. I think, again, last time, if I was past this purl row, it was very, very little. So I'm making some progress. I'm a little more than halfway to the point where I will divide for the sleeves. And then, like I said in the last episode, that I will try it on at that point and decide whether or not I'm going to make the smaller size or the medium size, because the smaller bust size says that it is a bust of 47 inches, and it says that it's to be worn with a few inches of positive ease. If you actually purchase the pattern, I believe it says 4 or 5 inches of positive ease. But if I subtract even 5 inches from the small, and that would leave 42 inches, that's not a small bust. So I'm not exactly sure which way to go. And the length, again, like I said, for me isn't an issue. The length on the small is 20 inches, 21 and 23 on the medium and large. So I'm not as concerned with the length issue as I am with the bust and particularly the sleeves. Now, I don't have necessarily huge arms, but I have old arms. I'm an old person, okay? I don't have those skinny, well worked out arms, and I don't want it tight on my arm, exaggerating every little bit that I've got that I really just, I mean, it's gonna come down to here, and I don't really wanna have to shove my arm through the hole, so we will see. So that's where I'm at, but I have to say, I had to make a comment on this yarn and the sweater. This is so light. I'm like amazed every time I pick it up. Now, I've knit sweaters in fingering weight before. I have never just felt them so just light. Now, I will likely need to wear at least a cami underneath it. Do I have to? Would I have to? Probably not. I think it would be okay if I didn't. I think I'd be more comfortable wearing it, not for itchy reasons, but just because it's knit on a size 7 and it's fingering yarn. So let's suffice it to say that it is a little bit open, not terribly. Again, like I said, I don't think you necessarily have to wear a cami under it, but I think comfort-wise, I probably would. I probably would just wear a cami under it, not to mention it'll, the cami will suck everything in, so you'll look thinner. This will look boxier, and all will be well with the world. So that's my sweater, my Millie sweater. This is how much I have left from the first one. Now, again, the pattern says that the small size takes 2 skeins. I did purchase 3 because obviously I didn't want to run into playing yarn chicken, and I wasn't sure which size I was going to go with. And since I really loved the color so much, I thought, well, it's a great yarn to stick in a fade garment. That Andrea Mowry faded cardigan came out yesterday, I think. So that extra skein, if it is an extra skein, may very well go in there. So that's 2 down. There we go. Okay. Speaking of fading, I'm still fading. And now I'm determined to get this done because I want to cast on either my Shishui shrug that I have been blabbing and blabbing on about since I got the yarn for it. The coffee fell on it. We got to go get the new yarn, all that business. I was obsessed with casting it on. Here it is, what, like a month later? No, I still have not cast it on because I did all that frogging. And I decided we're not getting a case of cast-on-itis again, only to have to frog it all. So I need to finish this before I cast on something big. So here I am with still on color 5. And I have started the lace on it. This is another one. These are just so cute. But this one I can take off because I think I'm at the end of her also. Like I said, my upper body strength, the condition of the upper arm area probably could use some work. But since I have a very severe allergy to the gym, that's not likely to happen. So I will have to suffice to lift 5-gallon water jugs every time the water cooler goes empty and consider that my upper arm exercise. Do you like that? I worked that in there? That's pretty good, huh? Okay. Here is my Find Your Fade. Started off with the pollen. We've been fading along. And here's where I'm up to. Like I said, again, I didn't make a whole lot of progress. I think the last time I was just finishing fading and working, or just working on the garter stitch rows with color 5, but I am on the lace. Gosh, I would love to get this done by Rhinebeck, but that's not going to happen because I really would love to wear my sweater. And I'm kind of tempted and toying, should I just focus on the sweater and get that done for Rhinebeck? And then I'm like, that's pressure knitting, and if I do, then I'm not going to work on it. So we're going to see. But I really honestly want to get this done because the one that I'm really looking forward to casting on is the Birds of a Feather, which is also by Andrea Mowry, and that's knit with some mohair. And I'm not sure if it's DK or fingering. I think it's with the skinny singles and the kid mohair from Hedgehog Fibers. So I definitely want to get started on that one. So I think that will be next. But anyway, this is where I'm at. I did make a little bit of progress. And when this lace section is finished, then I believe that's when we do 1 or 2 garter rows in that color and then begin to fade into color 6. So we're getting there. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely, I am getting there. And again, I'm enjoying knitting it. So that's the good thing. And I can almost work without having the pattern in front of me. I know, it's stupid. It's just literal repeats of the same thing, but somehow or another, believe it or not, I have had to rip this full thing back several times because I didn't make one in the right spot. My count was off. I don't know. As you can tell, like, my mind does tend to wander. I could be saying one thing, my mind is wandering off somewhere else. And unfortunately, that's what happens with my knitting. So that is project number 2. Okay, last thing on the needles is the M Club. It came out last week. Came out the first clue for Navigatrix. And this is the last year of the M Club version, and this is the last pattern. This one is a mystery knit along, and I can try to pull it up. I thought I had, but I guess I hadn't. Oh Lord. Why do I have to do things the hard way? Now I'm logging in again. Logging in patterns. Oh, I did also, just because my week wasn't complicated enough when it started off at 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday with my car being totaled, I had to update both my phone and my iPad. I don't know if I did that last week or this week, but oh my, I wish there was some way to take it back because I hate it. Anyway, it is a mystery knit along. Again, like I said, it is the final pattern from the final M Club version from Laura Nelkin. So being that it is a mystery knit along it is open to the public. It's not an exclusive pattern to M Club members. I don't want to spill the secret sauce, so we're gonna do a spoiler alert. And then in case anybody wants to join in, again, you can purchase the pattern. Let's see, I think it is $7. And before I show any of this, I'm just going to give you the info. She suggests, we're using Yoth or Yoth, I'll show you, yarn in their mother base, which I think is called a lace, but it is a very heavy, it's a very, to me, it's very similar if you're familiar with, and she also does suggest Wollmeise lace guard, which is to me, a heavy lace or a very light fingering, and that's what this one is. You need 825 yards. We have been told it will be a cowl or a scarf. It will be your choice at some point in the pattern, and judging from the clues that we've gotten, Clue 2 came out yesterday. I'm still not finished with Clue 1, but there's nothing new in that. I am assuming, by the way we're going to put it together, that you can put it together to either be a cowl or a scarf. Let's see. What else can I tell you about it? Oh, beads. Doesn't say. Oh yes, 7 grams of size 8 delicate beads. So if you have any of this stuff and what I'm about to show you is intriguing to you, then sign up and knit along with me. Enough about the pattern. Here we go. I'm going to post a spoiler alert because I don't know if anyone has knit this yet, is in the M Club, has started yet, or seen it yet. So we going to put a spoiler alert, and we will do the jazz hands. And this is one time I am not going to forget. Every single podcast, in all of the podcasts, 32 that I've done, and I said I did a spoiler alert, I never remembered to come back. We're going to remember this time. It kills me. Okay, so what I have so far is, I'm going to call them kites, but I think, what does she call them in the pattern? Oh gosh, I don't remember. Hexagons, maybe? I don't know. Chevrons? Something like that. Well, this is, let me go back to the pattern, because this way I can be a little more specific and sound a little less like a moron. Let's see. It always helps. Okay. Rays. That's what they are. We're knitting these different rays. This one, which is the first one, is called the chevron ray. And these are not difficult. None of the two of them that I've seen so far do not look difficult at all. Where did this, I got it, this bagel, how cute is this? How cute is this? You live in New York. I mean, bagels are the thing, you know, but this is a blueberry bagel. And this is one of the SucreSucre designs. Okay, she has an Etsy shop, and I have several of her, you can have the little designs made into stitch markers or into progress keepers. And I love her things. I really do. And I'm very excited because I will talk about it when I get to upcoming events. I will likely be meeting up with her at some point before Rhinebeck. So anyway, here is the chevron ray. And from what I'm seeing in this particular one and the next ray and then the 2 rays after that, is basically we're going to be making these what will look like to me diamond shape squares, I guess. Well, diamond shaped things. This one is basically garter stitch with just this sort of simple kind of lace pattern down the center. Now, if you look carefully, and you don't even have to look very carefully, you can see right there is my boo-boo. and there was no way I was going to rip it back. And it was just one of those moments. I think I was working on this, which is a lesson to be learned, during the wild card playoff game. Why I had knitting in my hands during that game, I don't know. I shouldn't have had anything other than stockinette in my hands, but I did. And I corrected it, and the stitch count was fine. I probably just did a left-leaning decrease instead of just doing a center decrease. Whatever it is, the next row, my stitch count was off. I made it really nice and pretty and fixed it. And, all right, no, it's not so nice and pretty, but it worked out, and I'm progressing. So this is what I have so far, and from what I can tell from Clue 1 and Clue 2, we will be making at least 4 of these, because the first 2 clues have you making different patterns down the center of these rays. So this one is the chevron ray, and then the next one in Clue 1 is called the slipped ray, and that will have beads being slipped up down the center panel. And I believe that one, the lace pattern in the center, is done in garter stitch, whereas you can see this one is stockinette, the lace, it's stockinette lace pattern. I believe in the next one, I think it's a garter lace pattern with slipped up beads. So, did I have something on here? I did, didn't I? Yes, I did. I had my trusty needle keeper. Okay, so that's it, I think. Oh, I did want to show one other thing that I meant to, I think it's in my sweater bag. I don't know if you all have seen one of these before, but I am a dedicated Knit Companion user. However, there are times when I want, especially this sweater, it's still at the size, it's quite portable. It's really just stockinette with increases, as long as I can keep track of what row I'm on, whether I'm doing full increases or just partial increases, because one row you increase on the body and the sleeves, on the other row you increase just on the body and not on the sleeves. So as long as you can keep track of that, you can really take this with you anywhere. And I have had these, I have used them in the past with sweaters. I don't knit sweaters as often as I should. So I have fallen back in love with this device, which is called a Sirka Counter. And I will link their website below. It is made by a company called Grello and Gray. And again, I'm going to say it's a little counterintuitive to using a regular clicker, because on a clicker, you're usually working, you click off after you finish the row. You do the same thing on this, but you have to sort of start it where you would be doing something. And without getting into the whole explanation, because there is an excellent, Grello and Gray have put up several video tutorials on how to use this. And the upshot of it is you can count up to 3 different things at the same time. You can count, like here I am doing 13 rows of 13 combination of the rows. So in other words, I'm doing a 4-row repeat, and I'm doing that 13 times. So every time my pink counter gets down to here, I move my purple counter one more time. I'm sorry, I'm doing it, here we are. These you stick in, and that's your final number. So every time I get this clicker down to the pink hand, I know not to go, you don't go past the pink hand. That's telling you to do something. And what I do is I advance this counter one more click until it gets up to this hand. So I know I just gave like a really bad explanation on how to do this, but trust me, it works. It's great. You can keep track, like I said, of 3 different things. And Grello and Gray, there is an instruction booklet that comes with your Sirka counter, and they have really excellent tutorials on their website on how to get a handle on how to work this, rather than using my really pathetic explanation of it. And I think what the biggest difference is, if I remember clearly now, is a regular counter starts at 0. and you click one, this actually doesn't start. There is no zero. Zero would be at the top. You start counting with row 1. And they do a thorough explanation on the website. But I really encourage you, if you're interested in a really portable way to keep track of counting maybe increases, counting number of rows, you can do it all on one Sirka Counter. I would encourage you, and if I can find one of the YouTube videos, I will put also that link below. I'll put their link, listen to me, link, whatever, underneath for the website for where to purchase them. And I will also put the link to the tutorial on how to use it, so if you can see if it's something that you're interested in. Okay? Okay, that's enough for that. That's it. That is all she wrote with works in progress. That's all I have. So I'm keeping it tight. I'm keeping it tight. I'm not starting a whole bunch of stuff after that frogging event. I don't ever want to do that again. So moving along to stash enhancement, I have very little. What I have is, and I'm going to admit up front that part of the reason that I have precious little is because my mailman has suddenly decided that he likes evening hours better than daytime hours. Once again, almost made it through. Anyway, so Wednesday, I don't know what happened. I saw the mail truck. There was no mail. Now, I don't remember ever getting a day without mail, even if it's just junk, but okay. So then yesterday, I go out and I check the mailbox. There's no mail, there's no mail, there's no mail. 6:30, there's no mail. I'm thinking, all right, today I'll call the post office and we'll find out what the heck is going on. So I go to take my garbage out last night, and there's this box sitting on my doorstep that I knew had come through the post office. Go up and I check my mailbox, and lo and behold, there's mail in the box. So I'm like, well, I guess he just likes night hours, same as I did. So anyway, I did check my mailbox before I came in, and yet again, there's no mail. It is 5 o'clock at night, so who knows? Maybe if I had waited a little longer to podcast, I would have a little bit more than this little bit, but it's okay. It's all right. We don't need any more. This is the skein I was talking about before that I had received from Desert Vista Dye Works, Pumpkin Spice Zombody, on her ZN base, which again is her sparkle sock weight. And this one I saw on her website when she brought back the full colors, and I'm trying to get, yeah, that's a really good representation of the colors. I love this because the heels and toes skein, or what I might do actually is use this for the cuff and the heel. I don't know, I'm kind of undecided. Is not like what you usually see, which is usually picking out a contrast color, a real high contrast color. This is just sort of a blending in but totally different color. I don't know how to explain it, but I really loved this color. I saw it and I was all over it. So this was supposed to be my October socks. But again, like I said, I didn't have time to wind up the two skeins, barely had enough time to wind up the one skein. It's going to be a hot mess. I could see it already. So this was one thing that came in the mail. These will now be my November socks, assuming I finish my October socks sometime. And the other thing I got was just one of those things that you see and you just can't say no. You know, sometimes you just know, and you know if you don't grab it when you see it, it ain't coming back. I had mentioned in a previous podcast, I had actually shown the first kit that I got, that I joined what's called the Loops Club. And that is put out by a local yarn store called Loops in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they are also the minds behind Knit Stars 2.0, which is starting, I believe, on Monday. I think it is starting on Monday. So I get a lot of emails from them, and excuse me, they had just gotten in a huge order of hedgehog fibers from Beata in Cork, Ireland. And I'm sure many of you know that hedgehog fibers is one of the really hot yarns right now. Mostly because it's gorgeous yarn in amazing colors, but it works so well with the fades, with the marled looks that are coming out now. So it is a very, very popular yarn, and it was very hard to get at one point, but she is retailing more. There are more stores that are beginning to carry it, which is a great thing. So what Loops did is she conspired with the maker of Bink Waffle bags, and we all know that I love my Bink Waffle bags, and from what I gather, she is local to them in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so there is a special connection there, and in honor of her hedgehog wall of fiber, she got together with the designer and maker of Bink Waffle bags and came out with this hedgehog Bink Waffle bag. Now, I thought I had leaped on it really quickly. I actually missed out on the larger size one, which is fine because I think I'm actually will get more use out of the smaller one. But this is the pattern. It is hedgehogs. And the inside, what did they say? It was trees, because all Bink Waffle bags are reversible. So if you don't want to look at the little hedgehogs, you can always turn the bag, any one of the Bink Waffle bags, inside out. It works exactly the same. And there you go. So I just had to jump on the wagon. I was so happy that there was still some left by the time I got to the website. But that is my only other stash enhancement is my Bink Waffle hedgehog bag. That's it. So that is the end of my knitting and enhancement. As I said, again, sadly, I have no spinning. If it, the consolation is I did look at my wheel. I actually sort of sat down in the chair in front of it, and then that was it. I was like, if I try to spin and sit here and get into it, something's going to interrupt me. As you can see, I can barely get in an hour or half an hour without being interrupted by something or the other. So I really would like to get back to my wheel. So hopefully that will be next week's goal. So I'm going to move into what I have found and purchased and done with my day planner journey. And I call it a journey because actually that's what I found that this has become to me is more than just, you can get one of those teeny little ones that you just, the month is on 2 pages and you just scratch in your appointments and whatnot. But I think anyone who goes with something like the day planner. Now, this is not the same one that I showed last week. Okay, this one, last week I had shown gosh, you can't even, the lights are just washing this out. Last week I had shown my Saffiano, which is a style put out by Filofax. I did get it on Amazon. This is a new kind. It's not a new brand. It's a new to me brand. They are located in Sweden. And they are called, the manufacturer is called Kikki K, and this is their medium size, I believe they call this. And I just thought it was adorable. This one actually, and the reason I went for it, even though I had the other one, is once in a while they have their planners on sale. And as opposed to the one that I got, the Filofax one, this one is actually genuine leather. I think it will likely last longer to the abuse of being thrown in and out of my bag. So I went with this one for now. I will probably go back and forth. If anybody out there knows how to get my phone to stop ringing on my computer, please let me know in the comment section below, because that would make these things go so much smoother and probably a whole lot faster. But anyway, as I was saying, I'll probably use this one for now and hang on to the other one. I'm sure I'll be switching back and forth, but I think 2 day planners is more than enough. So what I did get is I had this card here, came with the Kikki K Planner. What else? I did not use the inserts that came with it because they're not dated. And I'm kind of the mindset I really don't, I don't mind putting in, and I really do enjoy decorating and stuff, but sitting there writing the dates every month, that would drive me absolutely crazy. So we decided not to do that. But there were some, no, it didn't come with that paper. There was, what am I looking for? I'm looking for something. Well, we'll go through. Oh, here, it came with also some stickers that fit right in there, and then that was the other thing that it came with. It came with a dashboard with matching polka dots on it. So, and I think these, I'm not sure if these were the ones that I ordered, because I did order a packet of stickers from them. But they're pretty plain, and I like these because the dashboards that I had, the section markers, didn't have labels on them, so these were perfect because this way I could handwrite on my own section, like I have notes and schedule blocked off. So that was one addition that I made, was to get a different planner. And then I got into washi tape, and I think I got a little overboard with the washi tape, but it's been fun. I'm just looking on here to see what's on here. So you can see this is how I set up. I think this is not this coming week. This is another week. And you can see I put the washi tape on there. I have road trip on where I'm going to Rhinebeck. Little sticker that says weekend. I did a little arrow. I really am trying to do this where the lights won't wash it all out. To say pack. And then I put in each of the knit stars each day, which artist they're going to have for that particular day. So I was able to put that into here. So that's kind of how I have mine set up. And I will show you where I got these little things. It's just when I open it, I put in little sayings that make me kind of just smile. I mean, these llamas are adorable. No drama llama. I know I said that last time. This is a sticker I found in a set yesterday, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the stuff that I got. It just says, be brave, be bold, be beautiful, be you. So this is what I see when I first open up my planner, and there's a little Minnie Mouse donut, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy about this, is that you can personalize this really any way you want. These are some retro dashboards, mini dashboards, and I'm going to show you right now the kit that they came in. This is called the Reset Girl. It is put out by the company Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem makes a lot of planner items, stickers, dashboards, and in case you don't know, dashboards are these solid, heavier things that sort of separate your sections. And you can have just plain plastic in there. You don't actually need to have them. But what a lot of people do is they have these dashboards and they decorate them. And this actually came in a pack of, 12 dashboards. And they're very retro, which is what I loved about it. There's like the old, if you remember the old McCall's or Simplicity patterns, you would see these on there, and it says so beautiful, and they're already punched. This is a full page one. There's another one down here. It says Planner Girl Crafts Faces. So that's like another one, and you can stick these. There's an old ticket, but we old people didn't know any better, so we actually got a physical ticket when we went into the movies. An old typewriter. There actually are lists of planners. So these are things that you would just slide in randomly and come across in your planner, just sort of to personalize it, to make it more yours. This I actually ordered from a company on Etsy called Juicy Planner, and I ordered a few things from her. She is located in the UK. Now, I will say that I've ordered a bunch of planner stuff on Etsy. And a lot of these companies, and they do note it in their shop policies, do take quite a while to get shipped. And I'm not sure if that's because it takes some time to make them or what, but whatever it is, it's totally worth the wait. This is a dashboard that I purchased from her, and what I love about this, and I'm sure it's not difficult for a person to make that knows what they're doing. I'm sure if you know what you're doing, you can do this yourself. But they're double-sided, really nicely laminated, cut very well. The holes are punched. I wouldn't trust myself anywhere near a laminator. Maybe a laminator, but certainly not anything that, you know, took precision, because it's not going to happen. Maybe I could stick something in there and cut around the lamination and, you know, punch a hole in it and be okay. But I love this. I just thought this was me. So we got that. And then I ordered a couple of stickers from her, mostly, but first coffee. So I got some coffee stickers. And then I got these just typical stickers that you would put in, you know, little things to do today, to-do list, common kind of stickers. And she included in the order some extras, which was, and I hate to put these on because day off, payday. This one, I can assure you, is not going in my planner. Okay, this one's going to my daughter. My daughter, actually, maybe the new generation has discovered that their iPhones aren't doing it, but my daughter's been using a planner since she went to college. She's been a planner girl. Laundry, the funny thing is, I'll usually stick this sticker on after the fact, because if I put the sticker on the laundry day, it's not going to happen. So we'll do it afterwards. And then, yeah, that's it. Those were the extra stickers that she stuck in the package. So that was also something that I got this week. And like I said, these came from Juicy Planner on Etsy, and I will link her shop below. And I think that's the only Etsy order that I got. These are the llama stickers that I had shown on my dashboard. Again, these are by Agenda 52. And that's another company. You may be able to find these on Amazon. A lot of these companies, Carpe Diem, I know, is one that you can find on Amazon. Michael's, I'm sure there are other craft stores where you can find these. And I like these stickers because, like you saw the llama ones, when you peel these off, they're actually clear. But there are also pages and pages of stickers in here, all different kinds. So that was another find. Then I found, because it's very hard to find stickers, there are large planners that people have. It's equivalent, if you are familiar with Filofax, with the A5 size, which is a little too big to be carrying around. I know Erin Condren is another popular brand of that size planner. And they do make stickers specifically made to fill up the boxes in those planners, but they are way too large to use in the personal size, which is the one that I have. So I did find yesterday mini stickers, which I thought was great because I had never seen these in the mini size before. So when you put these stickers, even the full-size ones will fit in the box and leave room. That I've never seen before. So I did get 2 of them, and they are themed. This one is beautiful theme, and this one is good vibes theme. So, and I actually have another one of these with these little sayings on here, which I love to put across the bottom of a dashboard or the bottom of a page if it's been a rough week or something. These are great. They're very motivational. They kind of keep you going. And here are little notepads, and these are really small, but you can fit, you know, an appointment or whatever in there. Obviously my coffee stickers, just anything to brighten it up. And then the last thing that I purchased was a large, this is 1,768 pieces of mini stickers. And again, the mini stickers are really, really hard to find. At least they were for me. This is the first that I've seen them. So they go everywhere from, really mini to, I would say, this size. Now, I know because I've actually used one of these in this size, this does fit in the mini planner, and it still leaves room if you have the week on 2 pages. It does leave room for other information. It does not take up the whole box. They're all different. These are actually the clear ones. I love these clear ones. Now, this was the reason I picked up this particular one. I'm going to see if there's information or if there's Wake Up and Be Awesome. That's the name of this. It's by Create 365, the Happy Planner. And I believe that's a company you can find online. And this one, I believe, is called Wake Up and Be Awesome. And the reason I purchased this one is because I have never seen a page that tells it like it is. And this one tells it like it is. Ain't gonna happen. Ugh. Let's try this again. Blah. And do-over. Okay. I sometimes need to express that in my day, okay? At the end of the day, when I am, playing with my planner or doing for the next week, I just need to go, let's just wipe out this day. Okay, let's try this again. Call it like it is. So I just thought that was very, very clever because I do enjoy the motivational ones and the keep positive ones and all of this and that. But the truth of the matter is, the way my life goes, sometimes you just have to call it like it is. And the other thing I did want to show is 2 things I ordered off of Amazon. One is the regular, again, anything you get in the personal size Filofax will fit in a personal size planner. So the Kikki K, remember the other one, but the Filofax Personal. And what I did was this is already hole punched. These are business card holders. So you can stick business cards in here. You can actually stick, if you want, a credit card or 2 in here. If you want to take your planner with you instead of your wallet, that's all well and good. And then this other thing, which I thought was ingenious, is the exact size hole punch that you would need to put a piece of paper into your planner. So if you're writing notes or have something that you want to stick into your planner, this actually can go in the planner. It is punched out itself, so you can keep it in the planner, or you can keep it in your bag, you can keep it wherever. And if you need to make something fit into your planner, you want to put it in your planner, this will post punch holes in it to make it fit into your planner perfectly. And that's it. That is all I have. So let me know if, I just purchased this. I don't know if I had shown this before, if any of you were familiar with it, but this is for next year. I got the cream colored. This is what the week on 2 pages looks like. I actually have from another company, which I haven't opened up yet to see what it looks like. It was something I bought in Staples. Maybe I'll show it next time if you all want to continue with this. But that's it. So let me know in the comments section below if you are interested in the crafting end of the day planner. If it's not something that you're interested in, if you just want to stick with the knitting and the occasional spinning and whatnot, that's fine too. We can cut that out. But like I said, I enjoy that kind of crafting. I do other kinds of crafts. I needlepoint, but I can't really see it as well anymore, and I had to give that up. I was doing cross stitch, but that was making me go cross-eyed. So I found that this to me is a fun, creative outlet that's, easy. It's not complicated. I don't really have to think about it. If 1 week, like I have 1 week in there that's got washi tape going into it, it's just a train wreck. Okay, the following week, turn the page, flip it up, you don't even have to look at it again. So that's my kind of crafting. Whereas opposed to quilting, I have a tremendous respect for it, but I could never, ever do that. I can't be that precise or exact. So if you're like me and you're really looking for some sort of fun, creative outlet and also try to keep yourself somewhat organized, hopefully better organized than I am, let me know and we'll continue with this. And as I find things, I will be happy to share them with you. So that's it for this week. I am looking forward to the first of the playoff games tonight. The Yankees, in case you haven't heard, have made it to the championship series. So they will be playing the Houston Astros starting tonight. I believe it is the first time that we have gone past the wild card spot since 2012. So that is very exciting news for us New Yorkers and Yankee fans all over. So if you enjoy baseball, I hope that you will enjoy the playoff season with me. And otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a great week. Oh, I did want to, before I finish, want to talk about upcoming events because I do have two now. Rhinebeck is coming up, not this weekend, it is coming up next weekend. And I will be at the podcaster meetup at 1 o'clock on the hill for those of you familiar with Rhinebeck. If you've never been and this is your first time going, when you come through the main gate, if you keep going straight, if you do not make that right turn off to go to the buildings, and you will see what I mean when you enter the fairgrounds, if you keep on going straight past where the dogs with the frisbees and they're training the shepherd dogs, the sheep herding dogs, if you keep going straight, there's a hill. And at 1 o'clock, I believe at noon, on that hill, Ravelry has their meetup. And at 1 o'clock, there is always a podcaster meetup. I will be there. I was there last year. I was just there, enjoying the other podcasters. But a lot of the designers come there. You can meet. I've met, oh my goodness, I had the opportunity to meet and get a photo op with Stephen West, with Thea Coleman, with Isolde Teague, Laura Nelkin. And as far as podcasters go, I've met the Fat Squirrel there. I've met the Knit Girls there. You name it, they're usually at that podcaster meetup and at the Ravelry meetup. And yes, I have also had the opportunity to meet both Jess and Casey at the Ravelry meetup. So that to me is like the highlight of Rhinebeck, is just meeting everybody that you meet and know from the internet, but to put a live person with a face, and also to meet friends that I haven't seen in a while. So if you are there and if you come to Rhinebeck, I don't know if I will have an opportunity to record before I go to Rhinebeck on Friday, but if not, I am going to try to record from Rhinebeck. So that should be an interesting experience. I will have my camera with me, so hopefully I will be bringing back some live footage. The last time for Maryland Sheep and Wool I tried, and all of a sudden it didn't work so well. So we'll see. Hopefully I will be able to do that. And the other thing upcoming on my calendar, if you are in the New York City area, Vogue Knitting Live is coming back to New York, to Times Square. They will be at the Marriott Marquis, again on Broadway in Times Square. I believe it's Friday, January 12th to the 14th. And this year I did sign up for classes. So I am very excited to be taking classes with both Andrea Mowry and Martina Beam. One is Beyond Brioche Basics. One is Fearless Color Stuff, something with coordinating colors. And I don't even remember what the other one was because it just sounded good, so I signed up for it. So I will be at Vogue Knitting Live. I am looking forward to that. The reason I mention it now is because signups opened, I believe, yesterday, and many of the classes are beginning to sell out. I know 2 of the packages, the weekend packages, have sold out, but there are still many classes available with many different teachers. So I encourage you, if you are planning to come to Vogue Knitting Live and are interested in taking classes, to sign up as soon as possible, because again, many of the classes will sell out quickly. So having said all of that, and probably making this much longer than it needed to be because I'm talking too much, I will wish you all a very happy weekend, a very good week coming up. If I don't see you next week, I will hopefully see you at some point recording from Rhinebeck if we can make it work. And until then, happy knitting, and remember to knit with sense.